Hello, kindergartners. It's time for your drawing for the week. And this week we are studying the Western Meadowlark. It's another yellow and black bird. It seems like the Lord must really love this color combination because there's a lot of birds that have these colors on them. This little guy has a yellow tummy, and you will see that on his chest, I have some better pictures of it right here. It looks like he has a little black V on his chest. Here's another picture. I've got actually several today. This is what he looks like from the front, very, very yellow. His beak is a different shape from some of the ones that we have studied. It's a little longer and a little bit more pointed, okay? We're gonna take note that the color of his beak is just a little bit of gray. His legs are kind of orange, a little bit, just kind of pale, his eyes black, and his wings are what we might call mottled. It's got kind of multicolored with the brownish, a little bit of gray and black and white, a few little stripes on his head. So we drew this guy, or we colored him already this week, and here's the coloring page that you've used, and we're going to use this exact same page to draw our Western Meadowlark. Have you been listening to the sounds that the Western Meadowlark makes? Because he makes beautiful songs. He's a songbird. Okay, so what we're gonna do here, he's a little tall, okay, so we're gonna picture this guy kind of in the center. His beak's gonna come out here on the left with his head. His body is gonna come around like this, and his tail's gonna go down, and then his two little legs and his feet right across there, okay? So kind of figure out where you're gonna put it on your page. You can get out either just a plain page of paper if you don't have your bird book, or you can actually get your own bird book out and do this drawing on the Western Meadowlark page. The word looks just like this, Western Meadowlark. Okay, do you have a sharpened pencil? Are you ready to go? The first thing that I always like to do is the top of the head. And this top of his head's got a little bit of feathering, so it's not just a plain curve. We're gonna do a little bit of an angle line with it, okay? So kind of watch what you're doing. I'm going to go up a little bit and then kind of go back just a little and then down. Your turn. Can you see that right up here? His beak's gonna go this way. All right, now I'm going to do his beak. It's a little bit longer and pretty sharp on the end. Okay, so I'm gonna make it come out to right about here. Okay, I'm going to go, it's gonna curve a little bit to the left and then point, and then it's gonna go straight back. Make sure he's got a good point on there. This part at the back end is gonna come in just a little bit, and then we'll close it off actually with this little curve. Do you see that little curve that I did to close it off right there? I hope that you can see these little details really well on your computer. Alrighty, now we're gonna put the line in the center. It's a curved line that's gonna show his beak, and it's actually gonna show us that his bottom beak is a little bit bigger almost than the top beak, at least the way that it looks at this angle. And I'm gonna curve line up and back. And it's gonna touch that little curved line that we just made. That is where the beak attaches to his face. Not too bad. Okay, so now I'm going to go down. I'm gonna give him a little, kind of the front of his head right here, a little neck, and then we're gonna curve around with his little fat tummy, and it's gonna land where his leg is gonna be. So you gotta pay close attention to the way that we do the curves on this one, okay? So it's gonna go down, around, give him a little neck, just barely, and then we're gonna come down for his tummy, and then around, and then I'm gonna stop like that. This is his tummy, his little stomach, and it's gonna stop, and this is it's actually his left leg. Okay, your turn. All right. Now I'm going to come down here, the back of his head, and we're going to do the back of his neck and come down and make his wing. His wing is going to go almost as far. We're going to stop it right about over here where his leg is, okay? Here we go. Let's see if I'm doing it right. His neck, it's going to come up just slightly for his wing. Going to come down, and it's just going to be a little point. I'm going to stop it right there. All right, now let's see where to go next. I'm going to come back up here to his face because his face and all the little lines that we're going to do on his face actually go into where his wing is, and so we're going to make sure that we do the wing right, and so we have to do the head, all the things on the head first. So the very first thing that I'm going to do is one big black circle behind the beak for his eye. That part's not too difficult. Okay, then we're going to do a curved line that's going to go back over the top of his eye, that's going to do a little bit of a zigzag, which kind of makes him look like he's got a hat. Look at this. So it's going to be a curved line back, touching the top of his eye, down, up, down, up, down. So watch how I do this. Curved line back, down, up, down, up, down. And it looks like he's got a toupee. Do you know what a toupee is? It's fake hair that you put on the top of your head. This bird looks like he's got a toupee to me. Did you get that? Okay, one little curved line from his beak to his eye. It curves up just a little bit. Then from his eye to his little funny hair at the top, just a straight line that's going to connect it. All right, now we're going to begin to make the lines that are going to make the black part on his chest. So from the bottom of his beak, we're going to curve back and then down. So back like this, down on his chest, and watch, it's going to have a little bitty angle line right there. I think that I made his head a little bit too skinny, but you know what? It's still going to look like a Western Meadowlark. I think it's going to be just fine. Okay, from his eye, now we're going to go back and we're going to do this funny, like a cheek on him. That's going to go back and a little angle line, back and around, and then ziggy zaggy, ziggy zaggy. I like to use the word ziggy zaggy. I just think it's fun to say. Can you tell how it's starting to be his cheek? I'm going to show you what it is that you're doing right here. You're doing this part. This is backwards on this picture, but it's this part of his little face. Okay, now inside that little cheek spot is going to be some more curved lines. It's kind of zigzag. It goes a little bit of curve with an angle in it. Like that. Can you see where I did it? I'm going to point so that you can see where I was drawing. Right there. See it? Okay, now we're going to use that spot to make his wing. So I'm going to come down from this point right here. Find this spot with your finger right there so that you can know where you're going to start. This is the bottom of the cheek, okay? You're going to start there, and we're going to curve down and then around and up to make the top of his wing. This is like his shoulder, the shoulder part of his wing. We're going to go all the way up like that. Okay? And then from there, we're going to make a longer line that's going to connect to the back of the wing. This is slightly curved, just barely. And this part's pretty easy. We're just going to do some kind of curves, just curve lines that are going to go across his back. that look like kind of soft feathers. I'm gonna do 3 rows of them. And then it's gonna look a little bit different on this side because it's kind of like the top of the wing that you can't really see from this angle. So just do a few little curved lines. That's called scallop. Okay. Right here, it's gonna be longer, straighter feathers. So in order to show that, it's just gonna be some kind of barely curved lines that are gonna go from that scallop down to the big part of the curve. Not too bad. Okay, now I'm gonna close off this part of the wing. I'm gonna come from this curve over to his back. One more curve line. Super simple. And then on this side, we're gonna do, these are kind of like crescent moons. You know what a crescent moon looks like? Crescent moons look a little bit like that. So it's gonna be kind of like that, but it's gonna go the opposite way, upside down. 3 of them, almost like waves. It's kind of what it looks like, but everything's upside down on that side. Okay, now we're gonna make some more long feathers on his wing. Just a few, just so that you can be able to tell what the wing looks like. So go ahead and make those barely curved lines, almost straight lines. You're doing a fantastic job. This is great. Okay, from here, I'm going to connect his wing to where his leg is going to be, and it's going to curve down and then leave a little bit of a space right here for his leg. So this is the line that I just did. It curves 2 different ways. Okay. Then we're going to go down and make the tail feathers from here. But it's going to be kind of a funny process. So I'm going to do one more curve line that's going to stop right there. See? It's got double curve lines right here. I don't know if I quite did that the way that I want to. So I'm going to erase it. If you did that right now, go ahead and erase it too. I'm going to do a different way. I'm actually going to do it like this. Watch. Go all the way down, and then I'm going to do bump, bump, and then I'm going to come all the way back up. I like that better. Sorry if I made you erase. Okay, and then from there, we're going to do one line that's going to go down and end where that little dip in is. And then, did you do that? I'll let you do that. I'll give you a chance. From that, that's where I wanted to do that extra little bump. See, that looks better. Right there, curve line. We're getting close, guys. Okay, then one more feather line that's going to go down to the bottom. Tail's almost done. Looking really good. Just like you did these little kind of crescent moons up here, we're going to do it down here as well. Just a few of them. All the way down. That's it. Tail's done when you do that. Okay. Now we're going to come back up. If you've got that done, we're going to finish this part of the tummy and make sure that we have that little black V that's on his chest. Okay. Coming down from the wing, it's going to be just kind of like zigzag angle lines. Okay. Very easy, which you will be able to tell very clearly on here when you color that this part is supposed to be black. Okay, and then on our coloring page, it just got some little, it looks like teardrops almost, or water drops right here. Just to be able to kind of see that the colors blend in a little bit. All we have left is his legs. I think it'll make him look a little bit more balanced when we have his legs on here. Okay, we're gonna come right here. We're not gonna do this leg yet. We're gonna do this one first because it's gonna help you to be able to see how far apart these guys are, the legs are. And it's going to be 2 straight lines that point in towards each other. And then you're gonna connect it. When you connect it, it's gonna be a little feathery at the bottom. So not a straight line, but kind of a feathery line. And then up here, there's another little zigzag. He's got little zigzags all over him, doesn't he? Good. Now you can see how far apart we are. Okay. On this side, you're going to kind of connect the legs a little bit, just with some little curved lines. And then you're going to just make that into a skinny leg, just like this one is. Do you see how the opening is going to end up being about the same? We're going to close it up the same way that we did the other one. This is going to help him look much more like a meadowlark. Okay, 2 skinny legs. Let's do the one on this side first. Okay, straight line, really close together. And then inside that, there's going to be barely curved lines. Same thing for the other leg. 2 very skinny legs. This one is not going to go down quite as far as the other one because it's on the back side and you're not as close to it. When you're looking at the picture, you're going to see that if this bird was in front of you, this foot is what you would touch first, and then this foot you would touch second. Okay, now to draw his feet, very similar to what we usually do. He's going to have 3 long toes in the front and 1 little short toe in the back. Okay, so watch how I do it. And we're going to do a point for each one. Okay, and then in the back, 1 more point, and then connect it. We're not going to do this part quite as detailed as is in the coloring page. I think it's just kind of easier, and you can still tell what's going on. Same thing for the other foot. 3 long toes in the front, and then 1 little short toe in the back. Remember that all the different birds have different kinds of feet depending on if they hold on to branches or if they walk on the ground. All right, did we get it all? If you want to, you can make some little lines on the toes to be able to tell, just like on this coloring page. You can see where the claws are, where they touch the little birdie's feet. Okay, this, my friends, is the Western Meadowlark. Let's see if you find some of these at your house. Listen for their beautiful sounds. Great job.